Greetings RPGers, Rhaegar here for another video. Today I would like to talk about my trip to the UK Games Expo. And I'm going to come straight out and say it, off the top of the bat, I had an amazing time. Like last year I went, probably one of the best RPG experiences I've had to date. That place is amazing. Now unfortunately I wasn't able to get any video footage like last year, even though I tried. You see, when I go there, I go there to get new experiences, generally. To try new systems, play with new people, and try out, different things. So I spent the majority of my weekend playing. And the rest of that time was trying to hunt down other YouTubers and friends that come down and things and try and, have a bit of a laugh, have a bit of a drink and a chuckle about this old hobby. So unfortunately I didn't get any videos to share with you, which I apologise for. But I did get a haul of goodies, which I can share with you in a few minutes. But yeah, I just thought I'd have a little chat to you and say I had a good time. And that I met up with quite a few of our fellow YouTubers and had a nice good chat with them. Such luminaries as the Gentleman Gamer, Sean Connors, who I managed to end up in his Cthulhu Masters game again, which was really cool. I played in Numenera with the Gentleman Gamer, and he ran a fantastic session, which I played a kind of a social outcast for the session, which was fun, even though I was the most, I suppose I would say I was the most, probably the character who had maybe the most reasonable outlook, as I'm sure he will go into when he does his recaps. I met up with Jenny Green very briefly when I was on my way to the Cthulhu Masters game, and it was a great delight to have a little chat with her before I had to shoot off. I hope she had a good con, and it was nice to meet her partner in those few minutes we got to share together. It was great. I did manage to catch a drink with Mark Crew and his two friends, Gary and Jess. I made a good old chat about the RPG he's putting together. I don't know if he's done any videos about it as of yet, but he's putting together a nice little Wild West system, which hopefully he's going to share with you. I got to meet quite a few new people as well. I got to meet quite a range of different types of gamers. Got to sit down and have a chat with them when I wasn't playing, Well, what I'm trying to say, guys, is if you want to meet new gamers and you want to expand your gaming horizon, the UK Games Expo, if you're from the UK, is a great way to do it. It's a fantastic place. It was, I would say, I don't want to say too much negative things about it because I had a great time. I think it was a little bit overcrowded this time. There was a lot of more people this year than when I first went last year. Oh, I'm talking like several thousands more, it felt like, which had impacts on being able to see some stuff. I wasn't able to get in and bring and buy much, unfortunately, and I didn't find the time because of the amount of people around to get to sit down and play some of the board games, which I would have liked to. But I'm not holding that against the expo because I want it to be busy. I want them to do well. I want it to be the busiest expo in the country because I think they're doing a really good thing and I wish them well with it. So, as I said before, I did get some goodies when I was there, and I'm sure you'd like to see them. So I will stop my mewling and show you my goodies. My goods. Let's start off in no particular order. I have managed to pick up the third Delta Green sourcebook, Targets of Opportunity, which details things like the Cult of Transcendence, and Disciples of the Worm, which might have a connection to, I don't know if that's a connection to the World of Darkness kind of worm. Interesting. But yeah, if you're watching Captain Machine, I did listen to your advice and your reply video, so I always kept an eye out for this one. It's really hard to find, actually. I've never seen it in any of the bookstores or gaming stores that have been around when I've been travelling about. So I'm really glad to pick that up, adding to my collection of Delta Green stuff. And hopefully I will run this at some point. My collection isn't pretty much complete. There is one more book to get, but it's not, as you said in your video, it's not a necessity to get. Continuing my Cthulhu vibe, I managed to pick up these two beautiful, beautiful books. Absolutely beautiful. The Acton Cthulhu books. I don't know if you are aware of this, fellow YouTubers, but the guys who did this, and I wasn't aware when I actually bought them, but it turned out to be a wise purchase, that they actually cover 2 different rule systems in these books. Like, they actually provide sections for running this as a chaos system, like a percentile system like Cthulhu is usually done with. But they also provide support to run it in a Savage Worlds system, which I found that was a very nice touch. And if those guys are out there watching, I really think that was a really cool thing to include in your work. As you can see, I'm going through a kind of a Cthulhu vibe. Collect these together, because the kind of idea I had when I picked these up was I wanted to do possibly a short campaign in Acton Cthulhu, and then take those story ideas and put them into a Delta Green mini campaign. But upon starting to read these, I might just want to run this for a while, because this stuff is beautiful. Like, it's a really, really well put together product. Man, I wish I could go through the entire book with you, but I don't really do reviews. That's not really my thing, but I might, I might. I also managed to pick up a novel. I do like to enjoy a good story, and I thought, what best way to kind of expand my Cthulhu knowledge is actually to read some of the stories. I do have the Necronomicon, but I sort of jump in and out of it, because it's less like a novel and more like short stories in there. Most stuff I read, but this seems like a very interesting idea. It's basically a collection of journal entries and letters based on a trip on the Orient Express, I do believe, and it's got like little clippings and stuff, and a nice little map as well of the journey. Yeah, looking forward to reading that. You may have heard in previous videos of my love for Numenera, but if not, it's official. I'm in love with this game. It's in my top 3 to run. I want to run. I managed to pick up, while it was there, the 9th World Bestiary, which guys is like. I'm not saying I buy books just for the ride, but some of the stuff in here, man. I mean, just check this out. I don't want to ruin too much of it, but just check these sort of things out. I mean, look at that. Oh, those kind of illustrations. I can't wait. It just makes me want to run it straight away. Like, it makes me want to be like, I want to throw these things at players and see how they deal with all this crap. Oh. A very happy purchase. Oh. Yep. Right, these two books I picked up are basically an RPG set in the Age of Sail. Think like Hornblower and Sharp. If you wear those TV series, that's kind of the kind of vibe these books are going for. It's kind of fortunate for the guy who was on the stand who was selling these is actually the developer as well. So he just asked a pretty harmless question as I was going by. Asked if I was a Hornblower fan, and he logged out, because I bloody well love Hornblower. I love all that Age of Sail shenanigans and exploration and all the galleons and frigates and ship first-rate ships and all that kind of sailory stuff and gentlemen's and captains and all that malarkey. So I got talking to him about these books, and I hadn't planned to pick up this when I went to the convention, but he totally sold me on it. And that's one of the great things about the convention, is you get to meet, often not, people who actually work on these things. You get to meet them, and you get to pick their brains, and you get to connect with the developers of these systems, and you get to see the passion there, and that to me was really cool. And he totally sold me on this thing. It's got rules for like ship combat. you know, doing, you know, getting promoted and the kind of like sailor you were and all that kind of stuff. And, you know, for something that I hadn't intended to pick up, this is a really cool little game that I'm hoping to run at some point. Keep crossing that. Last but not least, I picked up this bad boy. It's Numenera the Devil's Spine. Now when I saw it, I actually thought it was like a novel, like a kind of a collection of stories and you know, little lore things. But it actually turns out it's actually an adventure, because I didn't actually well, pardon my ignorance, but I didn't know that Uk Games was publishing adventure modules for its system at the point. I just thought it was doing like product line of creatures and the rule book and maps and stuff. So it was a nice surprise to find there actually is adventure modules. You know, I'm not a massive fan of adventure modules because I don't know, because sometimes I feel like they can be more restrictive than they can be helpful. But having a quick browse through it, I really like the sound of it. And it seemed like a great introductory story to get a bunch of players involved in the system. So I picked it up. So if I do run it, that's probably the way I'm going to go. So, yeah. Looking forward to that. Oh, and I did pick up one other thing here. I'm a big supporter of independents doing their own thing. You know, I know a few of the YouTubers out there. You know, like N20, he develops his own board games, and I'm a big supporter that. You know, I really admire people who do that. You know, on their own. You know, that they can actually put the time aside and build something up like that. So when I saw this card game, as I was passing by, I was aware of what it was, and I know it's developed by two other YouTubers, and they're competing. Well, not like trying to take over, but they're in the same kind of area of business as a big kind of card companies like Yu-Gi-Oh! And Magic the Gathering. And I really like what they were trying to do, trying to create a fun, you know, non-competitive game to be enjoyed, but have a kind of collectible side to it as well, with theme decks and things like that, just like other card systems. So I thought I'd give it a try and support independence, because that's how the industry goes. You know, you support them with your money and your viewpoints on them. So good luck, guys. Right, so that is pretty much all the stuff that I picked up at the UK Games Expo. And I hope you've enjoyed this video. It's not really been on any kind of particular RPG topic. Normal service will be resumed shortly. And I hope this video finds you all well. Until next time, guys.